So what is hard IQ? Here's my definition that I came up with this morning. It changes day by day, but this is the one I came up with this morning. The art of feeling more joy through the process of accepting who you are, as you are, without making yourself wrong. So the purpose of us being here together this weekend is to practice connecting to more joy through the process of acceptance of everything that's in you, which is what we call expanding your emotional, energetic range. Because there are parts of you that you have accepted and there's parts of you that you have not accepted. The parts that you have not accepted, you will defend yourself and others from seeing and feeling, and thus you will keep yourself stuck in those areas. And then those parts of you that are stuck will attract and magnetize certain experiences in your life that won't particularly feel good. So this is the art of feeling more joy. And don't confuse joy with happiness. By joy, I'm talking about feeling alive, vital, and connected to who you are in your authentic essence. And that could include sadness, it could include anger, it could include the entire range. You can, in fact, feel good feeling bad. Here's the problem. As you move towards your joy, however, you will reveal your core unworthiness. You see, I'll talk about this a little bit later in more detail, but we all carry a part of us that questions our own value, that asks the question, do I deserve this? When will the other shoe drop? And it comes from a very, very early part of us, but it's often a very strong part of us as we get into this personal development work. Often the more work we do, the stronger this part comes up. It's like, I think, I can't remember who said it now, perhaps you can help me with this later, but the more you step into your light, the greater your shadow. Yeah? So this is the principle where as you move towards what you really want, as you connect to those parts of you that allow more joy in, you're automatically going to trigger that part of you that says, do I deserve it? And is it safe to let in? Because the problem is that we've closed ourselves from feeling more joy, because here's the thing. The emotional range, if I was to show it to you right here, joy on one end, pain on the other, or sadness or grief or whatever it is that's over here that you don't want to feel. If you want to avoid feeling this, you close down this as well. Does that make sense? A lot of people think they can selectively close down these emotions while raising these emotions, but it's all emotion. It's your life force. It's your essence. So as you shut down from further pain, you shut down from further joy. So, of course, as you move towards greater joy, you're also going to move into more pain. Yes. But the big but is this. While being heart intelligent, you can embrace this part that may be hurting, but with such exquisite, blissful joy. And this is what I want to share with you, is the secret to holding all of you with such love and tenderness that you'll never be afraid to feel anything ever again, which makes you emotionally free. Not fear of rejection, not fear of failure, no fear of getting it wrong, not fear of not doing enough, not being enough. You heal your core unworthiness by feeling it. You heal it through feeling it. And most of us don't feel what's really moving. We sometimes feel something and we push it away. And that can be pushed away through our mind, but it can also be pushed away through our behaviors, such as our addictions, our compulsions, and the things that we do with others, such as relationships. Relationships can in fact be the biggest addiction of all. They can really keep us from feeling ourselves. How many of you, just by a show of hands, have had the experience, present or past, where you've connected to a person in a relationship, and before that relationship, you are so kind of feeling good about yourself, you have your boundaries and you're moving your life forward, and then suddenly you get into a relationship and you lose yourself. And you're like, where did I go? How many of you felt that way? Oh God, the entire room! Okay, that's why you're here, I guess. Yeah, it's very common that we kind of find it easier to be by ourselves, and as soon as we are interacting with another, sometimes things change. So you heal it by feeling it. And here's the other caveat. And by being felt in it by others. This is the other thing. If it was only about you feeling what is moving, we could all do this by ourselves. But there is another level of healing that's only available in a group, which is why I brought you all here together. If I could transmit this information, just as information, and give you the exact same experience without getting together, I would do so. It would cost me a lot less energy, time, and all the rest of it, and you too. But unfortunately, there is only so far you can go on your own. And we are not islands, we are a community. And when we are witnessed, when we are felt by others, it can heal us in a way that we cannot access just by ourselves. And that is because, have you noticed that the things that you are playing out in your mind, the stories that you tell yourself about what has happened to you, just maybe some of the traumas, the hurts, the wounds that you carry. Have you noticed that all those wounds, hurts, and traumas were in fact triggered by other people were involved in them, right? Somebody did something to you. You don't do it to yourself and suddenly go, oh, I've just wounded myself. That's never the case. It's always in relationship to other. So because others were involved in the disconnect, others can become a wonderful way to come out back into connection. It is the accelerated path, but it takes courage because you need to risk exposing all of you and risk being rejected, risk not being loved in all of that. The more you step into your joy, the more you encounter the parts of you that hold you back from being free. I spoke about that earlier. The more you step into your joy, the more awareness you get of what holds you back. Because if it was easy to connect to our joy, all of us would just we'd just be there all the time whenever we want to. But it is not so easy because there are clever mechanisms in place to keep that from happening. And for a very good reason. A lot of people think, I'm self-sabotaging. Nobody self-sabotages. There's no part of you that is maliciously trying to hurt you for hurting's sake. There may be parts of you that are doing you harm out of protection, but not out of a maliciousness